Welcome to the American Academy of Grief Counseling's videogram on the grief of job loss. And in many times, I think losing a job loss itself is one of the losses or griefs that many experience that really isn't focused on that much. Instead, we're always focusing on losing a loved one or a death. But losing a job is a true loss. It is something that will cause grief and various problems and stresses into one's life. So we first have to identify it as a legitimate loss in itself. It can be emotional, it can affect self-esteem, but with it also come a myriad of numerous secondary losses ranging from personal and financial to lifestyle itself. So, like any loss, it can take time to adjust. It can take time to come to terms with this particular job loss. Now, how we cope, how we work our way through this transitional period is essential to recovering from the particular loss from an emotional level, but also moving forward in a professional level. Now, emotionally, self-image many times is tied to a particular position or what one does. For instance, a police officer, a soldier, a healthcare professional, they may have a different time identifying themselves apart from their various position. And that in itself is kind of unhealthy because once you clock out, once an individual takes their badge off, once an individual comes home from the hospital, they should be able to be themselves. But unfortunately, many times the job comes home and an individual identifies their self-image with the profession that they happen to be. And in these cases, it becomes very difficult if they lose this particular position or lose a job. Retired professionals suffer very similar self-image and self-identity problems. So this issue is very far-reaching because it affects who they portray themselves as. Furthermore, self-esteem in terms of taking care of one's family can greatly be impacted. Many individuals consider themselves the breadwinner of a particular family. Traditionally, this was just for the men of the families, but now it can also include women who are also the breadwinner of a particular family. So self-esteem can be greatly affected when one no longer has the ability to care for their family. In addition to this, there are a mixture of secondary losses, a myriad of them, loss of income and lifestyle. One may have different ideas of what they do in their spare time in regards to entertainment, restaurants. So with the loss of income, lifestyle is going to be affected. Not only where you go for entertainment, but also maybe what you wear or what you are used to spending at the grocery store. So bills and expenses become more difficult. Healthcare coverage, meeting family needs, how one perceives oneself socially, their value in society if they no longer have this position or within the family. Also, loss of friends. Maybe there were numerous friends within this particular firm that one worked or this one particular organization, and the friends that they once had, they no longer have due to the mutual position that they held and shared their mutual interests in the workplace. So when one loses a particular job during this transitional period, during this temporary period, it's okay, first of all, to feel bad. That's natural. There is a loss. It's important to acknowledge this loss and to handle it internally. But there are good coping and bad coping things that can occur for individuals. Individuals that employ good coping strategies will regain their self-esteem quicker and be able to find new employment versus those who utilize bad coping strategies, mainly because they can't get over the fact of what they lost. So one of the first concepts, which is really found within cognitive behavioral therapy, is reframing the situation. See it as a new opportunity and a time to recharge. Now, we don't want to employ toxic positivity, but it is a healthy reframing. We are acknowledging that it's bad you lost the particular job that you held, but there is a new opportunity and a time to recharge. Also, how do we temporarily budget ourselves. Instead of binge buying like one may have in the past, a budget may have to be put into place temporarily. Also, one needs to maintain a healthy energy, an energy in maintaining one's resume, pursuing job interviews, maintaining a healthy schedule, especially with exercise. One, when becomes unemployed or one is put off work for an extended period of time, maybe they are laid off, they can develop unhealthy habits in terms of exercise, more slothful activities, bad eating, excessive sleeping, and drinking. And these are things that we want to avoid. Just because we have more time on our hands doesn't mean we should become lazy and unproductive in itself. So we want to keep our energy into promoting ourselves and to pushing ourselves towards something higher. Also, it's extremely important during this coping thing to find support in family and friends, especially when despair or depression starts to set in. So having a good family structure, support system can sometimes give us the push that we need to overcome this loss and to embrace good coping versus bad coping. We are, again, the American Academy of Grief Counseling. We offer a grief counseling certification. There's the link. Our number is 330-652-7776. And our email is info@aihcp.org. So if you are experiencing job loss, remember that it's okay to be upset and sad about it, but there are ways to better cope and to find a new job that might even be better than the one that was previously lost. I'd like to thank you for listening and have a good day.